Stranraer Football Club is a Scottish semi-professional football club based in the town of Stranraer in Dumfries and Galloway. The club was founded in 1870, making it the third oldest football club in Scotland behind Queen's Park and Kilmarnock. The club currently competes in the Scottish League One as a member of the Scottish Professional Football League. They also won the Scottish Second Division on 2 occasions, most recently in 1997 a Euro 98, as well as coming runners-up in 2004 a Euro 05 and 2014 a Euro 15. Its only ever National Cup final came in 1996, when the club defeated First Division champions St Johnstone, won a Euro 0 in the Scottish Challenge Cup final. Stranraer's home ground is Stair Park, which has the capacity to seat around 1,830 spectators and 6,250 plus standing. The ground was opened in 1907 and is located in the east of Stranraer. The club is currently managed by Brian Reid. History: they were founded in 1870 and play their football at Stair Park. All of Stranraer's football was played under Southern Counties auspices until, in 1949, the club was admitted to C Division, where they came up against the reserve sides of the established league clubs. In 1955 C Division was abolished and the Blues found themselves in B Division and playing first-team league football. They would remain in the bottom tier until their first ever promotion eventually arrived under Alex McCarnsby in 1993 a Euro 94. With the league reformation at the end of the 1993 a Euro 94 season, Stranraer found themselves playing in the new First Division in season 1994 a Euro 95, finishing last, with only 17 points from 36 games. With Campbell Money at the helm, Stranraer spent 3 seasons in the Second Division before winning promotion back to the First Division at the end of the 1997 a Euro 98 season. Once again, they finished bottom of the league, with the same points total as before on 29 defeats. During that season a notable league win was secured at Easter Road against Hibernian. During Money's reign the club lifted the Scottish League Challenge Cup, defeating St Johnstone, won a Euro 0 at Broadwood on November 3, 1996. Saints' Danny Griffin was the unfortunate scorer of an own goal. The club, now under Billy McLaren, then spent a further 4 years in the Second Division, with the most notable event being a strong Scottish Cup run in season 2002 a Euro 03, which saw them go to the quarter-finals, where they were beaten for a Euro 0 by SPL side, Motherwell. However, the team's cup run did not reflect their league form, as they finished 9th in the Second Division, and thus were relegated to the Third Division for season 2003 a Euro 04. However, the team's fortunes improved from there, as, under Neil Watt, they won the Third Division at the first attempt, gaining promotion back to the Second Division. In season 2004 a Euro 05, the team shocked most people, as they stayed in the top 2 for most of the campaign. A 1 a Euro 1 draw with closest promotion rivals Morton on April 30, 2005, saw them gain promotion to the First Division for the third time, although they were relegated to the Second Division the following season after finishing 9th and losing out in the play-offs to Partick Thistle. The team had a largely unsuccessful campaign in 2006 a Euro 07, with heavy defeats by relegation rivals Peterhead and Forfar Athletic. They finished 9th, which resulted in a play-off with Third Division promotion contenders East Fife. A 4 a Euro 2 aggregate defeat saw them relegated to the Third Division. On January 21, 2009, club chairman Nigel Redhead stated that Stranraer FC owed £250,000, and had a €50 50 chance of survival to the end of the season. In response, on January 22, 2009, a small consortium launched the Friends of Stranraer FC to try to secure the club's future through donations from the football community at www.saveastranraerfc.com. On January 23, 2009, as part of efforts to reduce costs to a manageable level, key player Gregory Tate transferred to Clyde. On January 24, 2009, Stirling Albion defeated Stranraer 8 a Euro 2. Shortly after the game, Stranraer and team manager Derek Ferguson parted company by mutual consent and Keith Knox took over the reins. On April 4, 2009, after a 3 a Euro 0 loss to Raith Rovers, Stranraer's relegation to Division 3 was confirmed, meaning Stranraer have played in a different division for each of the last 8 seasons. On July 23, 2011, they lost 8-0 to Morton in a Ramsden's Challenge Cup game. A year later, they lost 8-0 at home again, this time in the Scottish League Cup against Livingston. The 2012 liquidation of Scottish Premier League side, Rangers, and the subsequent decision by SPL clubs to expel Rangers from the SPL, led to Scottish Football League member clubs voting Rangers into the third division. This meant that an additional team from each tier of Scottish football was promoted for the 2012 Euro 13 season. As Stranraer were runners-up in the previous season's third division promotion playoffs, they were promoted to the second division. They secured their place in the third tier of Scottish football after a 2-1 win at Stair on the final day of the season, but only after Stephen Aitken had taken over from Knox in October. The club then settled well in the third tier under manager Stephen Aitken, finishing third behind full-time Rangers and Dunfermline Athletic in 2013 Euro 14 and second behind full-time Morton the following season. Stranraer's Boxing Day draw at Ibrox in 2013 saw the club scoring their first goal against Rangers and taking their first point off the Glasgow club. In both of these seasons, however, they were knocked out of the promotion playoffs at the semi-final stage. During this spell the club also performed well in the Cups Euro, defeating Ross County in the League Cup, taking Inverness to a Scottish Cup replay, and only losing out on penalties to Livingston in the semi-final of the Petrofac Challenge Cup. Aitken impressed to the extent that he was recruited by Championship side Dumbarton in May 2015 and has quickly been replaced by former Ayr United manager Brian Reid. Records: most league points in a season, 58, 79. Most league goals scored by a player in a season, Derek Fry 27, 1977 Euro 78. Record attendance, 6,500 versus Rangers, January 24, 1948. Record victory, 9-0 versus St Cuthbert Wanderers, 2010 and versus Wigtown, 2011. Record defeat, 1-11 versus Queen of the South, 1932. Honours League Scottish Second Division, winners 1993 Euro 94, 1997 Euro 98, runners-up, 2004 Euro 05, 2014 Euro 15. Scottish Third Division, winners 2003 Euro 04, runners-up, 2007 Euro 08. South of Scotland Football League, winners 1948 Euro 49. Cups Scottish Challenge Cup, winners 1996. Scottish Qualifying Cup, winners 1937. Current squad, as of November 10, 2015. Note: flags indicate national team as defined under FIFA eligibility rules. Players may hold more than one non-FIFA nationality. Club officials, as of June 10, 2015. Executive Chairman, Ian Dugan, Vice Chairman, David Broadfoot, Treasurer, Alex Thompson, Secretary, Hilda Law. Coaching staff Manager, Brian Reid, Assistant Manager, Lee Meyer, First Team Coach, Chris Aitken, Goalkeeping Coach, Eric Phillips, Head of Youth Development, James McLeod, U20s Manager, Matt Maley, U15s Coach, Gary McCutcheon, U13s Coach, Alan Jenkins, Club Doctor, Dr. Simon Reed Physiotherapist, Matthew Wallace, Groundsman, Wilson Hamilton, Kit Mann, Bill Patton. References. External links, official website, club shop, social media Twitter Facebook YouTube.